So, got another person going in there. Justice for UU clergy abuse victims now. And UUA leaders pervert justice. UU legal bullying sucks U asterisk U. These are slogans I just chalked on the sidewalk outside of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, protesting against those issues. And if we come back to UU legal bullying, well, I actually very early on, following my complaint against Reverend Ray Drennan for his anti-religious intolerance and bigotry and non-sexual UU clergy misconduct arising from that, and then basically, you know, the intolerance and insults and basically slander and libel were a form of non-sexual misconduct. Even in the earliest stages of this dispute, the UUA threatened me with legal action if I didn't shut up. Down the road a bit, in December of 2000, I was actually charged with the crime of disrupting a church service. The Unitarian Church of Montreal tried to misuse and abuse this section of the, oh, here come the police, Canadian Criminal Code to silence me, and that resulted in a charge of disruption of a church service, and now they're accusing me of blasphemous libel for blogging about... Bonjour. Oui, ça va. Oui. Je proteste contre l'abus du clergé, okay, et aussi l'intolérance et bigoterie religieuse.
Et eux, ils vous reprochent quoi?
Eux, ils reprochent que je proteste. Voilà.
Mais je parle, est-ce que vous arrêtez le monde ou...
Non, non, non.
Oh, vous avez juste ça avec vos pancartes.
J'ai des pancartes, j'ai des slogans en crayon sur le trottoir, c'est tout. Je fais pas de bruit, j'ai pas de mégaphone.
Vous arrêtez pas le monde qui rentre ou qui sort?
Non, maman, mais si je vois quelqu'un que je m'aime, je fais de place. Voilà, c'est ça. Ouais. Non, eux, ils ont appelé... Attends, il y a une chose, parce que toi, tu es quelqu'un de très raisonnable, évidemment. Il y a l'équipe médiatrice.
Ouais.
Moi, je pense que la meilleure chose à faire, c'est pour Poste 11 d'utiliser l'équipe médiateur pour essayer de régler ça. Moi, j'ai dit à plusieurs reprises que moi, je suis prêt à arrêter mon proteste pendant au moins 2 mois si ils sont prêts à parler avec moi. Ils refusent toujours, ils appellent toujours la police pour essayer de me faire disparaître.
Okay. Mais ça se peut plusieurs fois. Moi, c'est la première fois que je viens.
C'est ça, non, c'est ça? Oui, oui. Moi, j'ai fait ça depuis 15 ans. Ah oui.
Ça fait 15 ans qu'on
Depuis 15 ans, j'étais ici parce qu'il ne veut rien faire, il ne veut rien savoir. Et j'ai eu plusieurs interactions avec la police. La majorité sont raisonnables comme aujourd'hui, mais j'ai eu des petits problèmes aussi.
Mais vous venez quoi, une fois par semaine, tous les dimanches? Ou...
C'est pas tous les dimanches. Normalement, c'est 2-3 dimanches par mois. Et actuellement, ça, c'est la première dimanche depuis juin. Parce que l'église ici, dans l'été, c'est pas fermé, mais c'est pas le pasteur qui prêche, c'est des membres de l'église. Alors, c'est comme une vacance. Okay. Alors, moi, j'ai pris une vacance. je recommence.
Vous êtes un ancien membre de l'église?
Je suis un ancien membre. J'ai porté plainte contre le pasteur et contre l'église. Il m'a expulsé. Alors, il dit, si vous voulez que je suis à l'extérieur, je suis ici avec les pancartes. OK, c'est bon. So, we just had a very pleasant conversation with one of the more reasonable SPVM police officers, and we shall see what comes of it. He's having a chat with, let's see, is it John Inder? Yes, John Inder, Patrina Lee Poi. They are talking to the police officers, and so is somebody else. So Patrina Lee Poi is gesticulating there. John Inder standing. So I suspect that Patrina Lee Poi is feeding these SPVM police officers a line of bullshit. And, okay, so she's speaking in French. She's saying, ce que nous, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's hard to hear what she's saying from back here, and I don't think my mic on the camera will pick it up. So we'll just keep this running. We're only at 5 minutes. We got 25 more minutes of tape, reeling as it were. It's not really tape, of course, it's a memory card, but we've got 25 minutes worth of video here, so we're just going to keep rolling it. Okay. John Inder is now giving his version of events, and you know, they're just basically, they don't want me in front of the church, and of course they essentially don't want me to be able to exercise my constitutionally guaranteed right to engage in peaceful public protest. And I should add, this is actually the first time I've chalked on this sidewalk in a long time. I thought it would be a good way to start off the church year. That could be an issue, but I'm sure that's not what they're talking about. Anyhow, it looks like both police. So I'm in my left hand. I have Unitarian perversion of justice, sucks you asterisk you. In my right hand, I had Unitarian hypocrisy and hubris, suck you asterisk you. But I'm just going to grab the UU censor and suppress critics picket sign, because that's what's happening right now. Unitarian Universalists are trying to shut down my protest by yet another call to Station 11 police. And the officer I spoke with at the beginning of this said it was first time for him to speak, you know, to come by here. John Inder's trying very hard to... So he'd better be telling the truth, because I've actually had the church members outright lie about my activities out here. That's one of the reasons why I roll video as much as possible, because false claims, you know, they've claimed that I've jostled people, they've claimed that I've screamed and yelled at people, they've claimed that I've assaulted people, and this has all been basically untrue, especially, you know, those times when they actually made those claims. You know, I've never assaulted anyone, put it that way. You know, I've raised my voice here and there, but what I'm getting at is, in some cases, they claim that I yelled at people when I did no such thing. And they claim that I assaulted people when I hadn't touched a person at all in any way, you know, prior to the police arriving. So complete lies about my behavior. So I roll video to protect myself from false claims. And I'm sure John Inder at this moment is saying things to the police that are not true. So we'll see what happens. We're going to stick around, and we got now 16, 17 minutes left of tape here. Well, maybe a bit more actually. Yeah, 20 or so. So the police are talking to John Inder and Katrina Lepoy. So I'm glad I actually suggested that they might want to involve their mediation team to try and mediate a settlement here. The police do have a mediation team, and if not a settlement, at least to mediate an understanding that I can and will do what I'm doing, that it's perfectly within my rights to do so, and that if they don't want me to protest, well, then they need to deal with the issues that I'm protesting against. You know, in other words, fine, if you don't want to deal with it, I just will continue my protest, you know, and the police will not bother coming by anymore to try and shut it down. So, again, we shall see. We're just going to keep the camera rolling, but we have John Inder, Katrina Lepoy, both former, well, John Inder he was a former president, he's also the current president of the board of the Unitarian Church of Montreal. And Katrina Lepoy, if I'm not mistaken, is a former president, and they're both, you know, been on the board for years. And John Inder, by the way, is actually one of the people who is most implicated in the perversion of justice, in the intolerance and bigotry that occurred. He is one of the Unitarian Universalists who...
Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very, very good this morning. Enjoying my Sunday constitutional, as I call it. So I'm sure what John and Patrina are doing. Oh, we're at church, we can't have someone protesting against us every Sunday and blah, blah, blah. I expect that's largely what they're saying. And they may be saying, that they've had criminal charges brought against me and so on and so forth. They may be saying that Reverend Diane Rollert sought a restraining order, which she actually did get on the basis of perjurious lies, if not paranoid fantasies. So yeah, she got a 1-year restraining order, but that was a 1-year restraining order. I had a nice 1-year holiday, and when it was over, I resumed my protest. So anyhow, I'm sure they're obviously trying to persuade the police to get rid of me, or maybe give me a ticket for something to try and dissuade me from protesting. So I may end this clip and start a fresh one, just so I have some buffer there, in terms of a longer amount of video to run, because now we're probably getting up to the halfway point. Well, not quite, 11:29, 11:30 minutes. So we've still got 18 minutes, let's say, left. Probably enough. So yeah, I guess I'll just let it run. So John Inder, like I said, I can't really hear what they're saying from back there. And this is one of the issues too, is they accuse me of yelling. Well, I do occasionally raise my voice, because if I want to say something to, let's say, John Inder, who's standing 30 feet away, well, yeah, I'm going to raise my voice louder, just so they can hear it, A, in terms of the distance involved, and B, in terms of the traffic noise and other noise, such as, wind going through the trees sometimes, you can get a fair bit of background noise. I mean, if a bus is going by, it makes a lot of noise, and it's hard to be heard over the bus. I usually just don't say anything when there's a bus going by. But the point being is, yes, I've raised my voice on a few occasions in order to be, make sure that people hear what I have to say. As a result of some of the intimidation and bullying, I actually invested in a megaphone, and I did sort of make it clear to the church that, well, if you'd like, I can use a megaphone. Because they were trying to get rid of my picket signs and so on. I said, well, fine, if you don't want my picket signs, I'll just get a megaphone and I'll shout slogans. Would you prefer that? So I actually have a megaphone, but I don't use it. I talk in a normal level to people, like I spoke with the police officer and other people, I only raise my voice when it's necessary to do so for being heard. Oh, here comes a bus, so we'll get an idea of the kind of background noise the passing bus makes. This one's actually reasonably quiet because it's further away. So there we go. Anyway, they're having a long chat. This is by no means the first time that leaders of the Unitarian Church of Montreal have had a fairly long chat with police officers who've been called to the scene of this crime that they perceive as a crime against them. I'm not quite sure how saying Unitarians affirm and promote abuse of clergy is in any way wrong. So anyway, we'll see. Here to come the cops, so we'll have a little chat with them and take it from there. Et alors,
Bonne chance dans vos démarches.
merci beaucoup, bonne journée. À la prochaine. J'espère que non. Mais honnêtement, est-ce que vous êtes capable, vous, à cause de ça, de contacter l'équipe médiateur?
L'équipe de médiation n'existe pas en tout temps.
Oui.
C'est des gens à gauche, à droite.
Oui.
Qui, lorsqu'il y a un événement, se réunissent pour l'événement.
Je sais,
ils font pas ce genre de choses-là.
Oui.
On parle vraiment de communautés, de grosses fêtes problématiques.
OK, c'est bon.
Mais je viens de leur en parler, puis ils disent que vous les avez déjà rencontrés, puis que vos demandes sont irréalistes, tout ça.
Non.
Mais,
c'est ça que, oui, c'est ça qu'ils essayent de dire. Mais, et oui, au début de cette histoire, on a parlé un petit peu. Mais surtout, ils ont essayé de juste me fermer la bouche. Et ils ont même refusé de parler avec moi depuis au moins une décennie. et comme j'ai dit à vous tantôt, dans les derniers 3-4 ans, j'ai dit au leadership, les gens qui passent, comme John Hinder, le monsieur c'est John Hinder, j'ai dit à lui et à d'autres membres de l'administration que moi je suis prêt à mettre fin temporairement à mon proteste pour un minimum de 2 mois, et ça peut être continué, s'ils sont prêts à parler avec moi pour essayer de régler le problème. Mais ils ne veulent pas le faire, parce qu'ils ne veulent pas admettre qu'ils ont fait des bêtises. Alors, voilà. Je vais dire une chose, parce qu'il y a l'église locale ici.
Okay.
Il y a aussi le bureau chef à Boston. Et les gens à Boston aussi, ils ne veulent pas savoir. Mais je connais d'autres gens dans l'église plus grand. Il y a un changement dans le leadership à Boston. Moi, je suis optimiste que ça peut être réglé d'ici l'été prochain. mais je te remercie pour respecter mon droit de protester.
C'est ça, vous connaissez vos droits,
ouais.
vous connaissez vos obligations aussi.
Oui.
C'est ça qui est important.
Oui. J'essaie de faire tout ça en dedans de la loi.
Parfait.
Merci beaucoup. Bonne journée. Bonne fin de semaine. Bye-bye. So that went excellently well. These 2 police officers did their job properly as far as I'm concerned. And they heard what the church had to say, and they were basically saying, that my demands were unrealistic and that they'd spoken to me in the past. Well, the fact of the matter is I've actually made very few demands in this. And the demands that I have made are far from unrealistic. But this is